Hi, we're here at the LAC 2 conference, Psychoanalysis and Politics NOW, and we are in Colorado Springs at Colorado College, and here is Dr. Todd McGowan, one of the co-organizers of the conference.
Hi, good to talk. Good to see you.
So
even though I'm not seeing you.
Yeah,
So, you're seeing me.
You all know Dr. McGowan from reading his books and articles. So here he is in the flesh, and it's very exciting. And the conference has been great.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad you've liked it. It's been great for me too. I think I'm less in the flesh than in the books, but that's okay. I noticed we have Robert put Slavoj behind us, kind of looking as a kind of father figure.
That's true.
Looking down on us and making sure that we don't say anything incorrect.
That's true.
So
we're reading some Zizek too, like the Fright of
Real Tears, which is out of print. Did you
I
steal
don't know.
copies of it, or what?
I guess I stole a copy.
Yeah. It's best to pirate things for your students.
But it's been awesome, and the students really appreciate you guiding them through Lacanian film theory, especially that I start with your work and then I get into Lacan, four fundamental concepts of psychoanalysis. So
let me just say I'm impressed that your students can read four fundamental concepts because I often will teach a whole class on Lacan and we never read any Lacan at all.
Really?
We only read secondary people.
And I took your advice by not teaching screen theory, but it comes up and a lot of students sympathize with screen theory more than Lacanian film theory.
I know, it's a problem. It's seductive. That's why I teach at the University of Vermont. We have an absolute prohibition on even talking about screen theory because they get seduced and then they can't get can't get free. It's like cults. Like they've been brainwashed into a cult, and they have to. They have to go to an extreme anti-brainwashing.
I know it's the concept of the gaze is just much simpler to understand in screen theory.
I think it's right. I think so. It's a case where simplicity ends up being convincing when it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one could argue that I don't mean to students of yours that like screen theory. I'm about to really insult them, but I feel like it's. I think it's partly the way in which candidates for president who present very simple visions of the world can get elected versus candidates who are trying to present a very sophisticated idea of things. So oftentimes simplicity wins when it shouldn't. When it shouldn't win.
It's an interesting parallel.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe I mean, I don't want to compare. I mean, Laura Mulvey is not a Trump supporter, so.
But there is a conservatism there.
Yeah, I kind of think so. Although I was just talking to you that I'm going to be giving a talk on David Lynch at a thing, and she's one of the fellow speakers, and so I'm hoping that she hasn't read anything that I've written actually.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Mulholland Drive, so that's gonna be.
I love Mulholland Drive, so I was just telling Robert that I sort of liked Rules of the Game, and I thought it's a film I should love, and so I wrote that book in order to kind of fall in love with it.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah.
And I when I started it, I preferred Grand Illusion, which is the other sort of
another classic
Jean Renoir masterpiece, and then but after I finished it, I thought, no.
I think your argument is very convincing that The Rules of the Game is the masterpiece, especially because of the context before, like the rise of Nazism and all of that.
Right. What he's talking about. Do you know that Orson Welles was often asked, what film would you take to a desert island?
Yeah.
And he alternated his answer. Like sometimes he would say Rules of the Game, and then sometimes he would say.
And we watch actually Citizen Kane, and we make those connections too. Yeah.
So between Rules of the Game and Kane, well, the deep focus for sure, right?
Yeah,
that's a big thing. Yeah. And I think, Kane is the great, obviously. It'll never. Somebody. You probably already know this, but somebody wrote John O'Hara, who's a novelist, but also reviewed films. He wrote a review that said, Citizen Kane not only is the best film ever made, it's the best film that ever will be made. And I love that compliment, and I often say it to people. I try to use it around people.
Yeah.
But I think it's true.
And it's fascinating how Orson Welles started with that masterpiece and the struggle afterwards.
Oh my God! I know, it's like he kept paying the price. You know what? It's akin to. It's not akin. I'm making all these wild analogies, but it's a little bit akin to Haitian Revolution, right? Like the maybe greatest revolution in human history.
Interesting.
And then they have to pay the price for the next 200 years.
That and all of that.
Yeah. Like literally, they have to pay reparations to. But Wells, to come back to Wells, like every film of his was damaged after Kane, right? In some way, either he didn't have enough money to make it, or the studio took over.
It,
but they're still great, I think.
I love F for Fake, and my students are gonna make like video essays at the end, so
they'll be their own kind of F for fake.
They need to make their own F for fakes.
Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Really
so thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. It was great to see you, and I'm so glad you came to the conference, and I'm happy to talk to your students, and I hope that you enjoy those books.
So we love them.
Okay, cool. Okay, thanks. That was